Oh my gosh. Ah. All right. um, Let me quickly throw the link up on Instagram. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I. Okay. Is this working or no? No, it's not for kids. What the heck is going on here, bro? Hi, hi, hi. Give me 1 second. There is one interesting thing that I do have to fix. So, it was almost perfect. It was almost perfect, guys. It was so close to being perfect, but just it was not quite there. For some reason, the scheduled stream and the actual stream aren't the same thing. They're separate things on YouTube. So I have to just delete that. That's so annoying. Okay. So we're mostly fine. We're mostly cruising. We're mostly good. Mostly no issue. Just gotta throw the link on Instagram. Ugh, it's so hot in here, you guys. It's not even funny. It's so hot. It's like I wish I could laugh and giggle about it, but I am melting. See, there's something I've noticed. Where the fuck is the button for the countdown? I'm looking. There it is. I found it. So, I noticed something on stream lately. It's very interesting. And it is that holy moly. So, if you remember, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but here's the deal. I have a minuscule bladder. I have a minuscule, tiny, pathetic bladder. But lately on stream, I have not been having to take bathroom breaks. And I realized the reason for that, this seems so random, but trust me, the reason for that is because it's so fucking hot that I just sweat everything out. It's just been sweat. This is how I was at the concerts. When I was on my trip in Canada, going to concerts, I noticed that I never had to go to the bathroom at the concerts. And it's because it was so fucking hot that all the liquid in my body was coming through my pores. And it's not pleasant, to say the least. It's not the most pleasant thing ever. But you know what? We're gonna make it work. Let me make sure everything is posted and up. That is posted and up. I think Instagram's all posted and up. Can never stop clearing my throat for some fucking reason. Okay. We're all good. So, phone over here. I'm gonna read what you said in a moment. Just one minuscule itty bitty moment. So, finally, we're chill, we're calm, everything's okay. We're streaming. So, what'd you say, Rahil? Guys, random question. What is the craziest rumor in your school that turned out to be true? One of my teachers who had a child in the school, this is in high school, and both him and his wife worked in the school. He cheated on his wife and then moved away with the woman he cheated on her with to a different state. And I'm pretty sure they ended up splitting ways as well. So that's kind of crazy. But that's all I can say to you on that. The plan today is quite simple. Quite easy, quite peasy. It's book club time. It is quite literally the time for the book club. So here's a thing that I think a lot of people are going to be asking. A lot of people are going to be curious about the fact that technically we have 2 book club books to talk about. Technically we have 2. Because we read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and that was in July. During July, that's not true, I lied to you. That was in June. That was in June. The last part of June and the first whole part of July, I was not here. As many of you know, I was on a trip. So I didn't go live to talk about Addie LaRue. Thing about that is I didn't talk about Addie LaRue because I didn't finish Addie LaRue. That was the main reason. That was the main reason. I DNF'd The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So we could talk about it, but I only read half of it. And I think a couple other people DNF'd it as well. So I'm not sure what there's to be said about Addie LaRue. Welcome in, Amber. Your old German teacher did porn while he was teaching. That's not great. I think that violates some school teacher laws. I'm pretty sure there's something about that somewhere in some law thing somewhere. Anyways, so I think we're all just going to collectively forget that Addie LaRue happens. Gonna erase that month, and we're gonna go right into Reckless by Lauren Roberts. God, it's so fucking hot. It's not even funny. Your history teacher had a student living with him? Oh. Dude, okay. How did that go? Was that like a chill thing, or was that just like a odd? I mean, because one of my teachers had a student living with him as well, but she was his daughter, so I think that was probably all cool and chill, you know? Love my best friend so much. She at Amazon contact Amazon hates you. Hey, good shit. As someone who doesn't use Amazon, good shit. Didn't even read books in June. Fair enough. In a wholesome or creepy way? No idea. Had left a creepy way. Ooh. 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 I don't like that. I cannot say I'm a fan of that. But that's great for nobody. Presumably it's great for nobody involved. That's not a great thing for them, period. So there's something I know about myself, that, first of all, actually, I'm lying. Let's replay these real quick. These are 2 follows I got offline. Bibliophile and Nikki Star followed Wells offline, so thank you for that. Appreciate it. With like 20 books in June. Damn, 20 books in June? My record's like 3 books a month. What the heck? Coco, how? How? What the fuck? On his autism, so they couldn't fire. Oh, that's crazy. All right, Rahil, we're gonna go back. We're gonna talk about books now. That's bonkers. What the fuck? Okay. Read so fast. Oh, Kindle. Kindle. That makes sense. Yeah. That adds up. I can't read ebooks. It's a character flaw. It's just not something I can do. I have a really hard time with screen ebooks like that. It's just not something I can do. But I do read a lot of audiobooks, which should make me faster, you would think, but it's not. It doesn't. When you're done with Reckless Discuss, can you re-announce stream? I didn't read. When you are done with Reckless and Discuss, can you announce? Oh yeah, Ember. I'm gonna be doing stuff after the book club, so for sure I'll reping just specifically Twitch enjoyers. Not everybody, but Twitch enjoy. I'm pretty sure you have Twitch enjoyer role on the Discord. You're at 50 books for the year. How many more months is there? Oh. I made a joke and was gonna try to read 100 books this year. I was like, haha, 100 books, that's a fantastic and totally realistic goal. I'm currently at 20 books for the entire year. And I'm behind schedule on my new goal of 50. So I'm not sure I'll be doing that. I'm not sure 100 is gonna be something that I do. Great for ADHD. Currently listening to I'm Throne of Glass also. I'm also listening to Throne of Glass. Well, kind of. I'm taking a break. I'm on Queen of Shadows. I'm taking a break, but I will be reading it again soon. Queen of Shadows I'll probably read in September. But we'll see. There's so many books. There's so many books to read, you know. There's so many books. 50 for the year, but I might change it. Yeah, I put 50 for the year too, but I'm already struggling. I could do it. If I read 6 books this month, I'll still be behind schedule. So that's great. Love that for me. You're at 38. You have 18 more than me. That's... Why would you change it? Oh, you're saying make it higher. Okay, I see. We are not the same. We're quite the opposite. I might lower my goal even more. We'll see. I don't know. I don't think you should change your goal though. I feel like if you change your goal, that defeats the fundamental purpose of having a goal. You know? I don't see it being a thing. Like, I don't think you should change your goal like that, you know? But, I do think that... Gosh, there's so many things happening at once in my brain. Why does my phone keep... Okay. Don't change your goal. Exceed it or miss it. I agree. I think you should exceed it or miss it. See, I'm looking at my Goodreads right now. Can you guys... Oh, you guys can't see my Goodreads. What button do I press again? I'm looking at my Goodreads right now. And I'm sitting at... 20 books. 9 books behind schedule. No, I don't want this to be... That is Vale Book Club. I don't want this to be... Go away. I don't want to say that I'm done with this. I want to say that I'm done with this and then promote the reading vlog I'm doing for it. I'm gonna change it to, if it will load, for fuck's sake, please load. Want to? No. I want to make it currently reading. There we go. Marketing thing, guys. Trust. So, I'm gonna read chat because you guys are saying stuff. I didn't see it. Missed mine but undershot this year, so I'm going over it. Fuck yeah, good shit. I've read it in book form, but the audio doing my task just under 100 between books and Kindle. Just under 100? You're almost at 100? What the fuck? What? I'm gonna probably read more because I read 3 a month plus my own ones. I like book club books 3 a month, yeah. Alter their goals during circumstances. Are those unable to achieve their goals? Yeah, but if you change, but even in, I mean, you can, I guess raising your goals fine. I don't think you should lower it. I think you should take that L and live with it. I think that's a prime important part of goals. That's what going on. You were at 11 last week? What the fuck? That's crazy. Because I read Reckless. See this? The book that we're talking about? I read it in a week. It took me a week to read this. And I had the audiobook and I had this physical book as well. I had both. You can lower it if it's almost impossible. Yeah, that's fair. Do I have a I don't think it's a problem to read a fuck ton. I think it's just mind-boggling and crazy. It's impressive, but it's also like, what the, how the fuck are you doing that? All right. So. So. I think it's time for us to start talking about books. Hi, Hood League. Welcome in. Raised your goal last year. Could you hit it in March? Also, hi. Yeah, hi. What was your goal before? You finished Reckless in 3 days. You could have finished it in 1. Okay. Is it Reckless time? I think it's Reckless time. I think it's Reckless time, gang. I think it is time to talk about our book club book, Reckless, by Lauren Roberts. Blanked out for a sec. Start at 24. You're at 68. You guys are fucking crazy. You guys are crazy. What the fuck? All right. So, here's the thing. I don't have a list. I do not have a list of things to talk about. I always intend on making a list. Bye. Oh yeah, bye Amber. I'll ping, don't worry. Yeah, all good. So, Lauren Roberts is officially your favorite author. Okay. Let me see if I had a couple little discussion things, but I'm just not as locked in as I should be, I guess. This month I'm gonna have to be way more locked in. Because I have a plan, I have something that I want to figure out for this next book club. I'm not sure if it'll work, but it would be awesome, and if it is, I do have to plan ahead. But this is now the portion of the stream that is going to be spoilers. Spoilers for Reckless. If you're aware, 44 through 46 is the best, obviously. What's that? Oh, that's like... I see the chapters. Yes, of course. So, we have some options here. We could do... We could just chat like we always do for the book club, or we could do it interesting. We could do an interesting thing called a stage on Discord. And what you do, oh shit, I'm not sure how I think, okay, wait, we're gonna try this. A stage on Discord basically lets you guys talk to me about the stuff. Is that how you spell discussion? I think that's how you start to spell discussion. I think that's the correct way to spell discussion. You vote refresher? Oh, you need a refresher on August book? It is gonna be When the Moon Hatched. When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. That is the discussion, that is the book for, the book for August. Alright, it's funny, I did a test stream, and yet, why is it playing music? Discord's doing a weird thing. I did a test stream earlier, and, what's really weird about it is that everything's still going wrong. I'm still trying to figure shit out. Alyssa, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Stage plays music all the time. I've never done a stage before. It is hold music vibes. We can put it back on. Why not? Okay. Okay, we'll put the hold music back on. It's so loud though. Holy shit. Can I like adjust the volume of it? We're gonna put it down there. Okay. So let's see if I can adjust. Okay. So this is a stage in the Discord. Did I start a stage? I don't know if I started a stage. Did I start a stage? Reckless. Alyssa, hi. Welcome in. I'm assuming you're coming from, the Instagram. How are you doing today? How's everybody doing? I never asked. Okay, start stage. Okay. Oh, it's kind of like Twitter Spaces. Okay, it's kind of like Twitter Spaces. I see. So, here's the deal. If you're in the Discord, let me quickly, for those of you who are not, you can do exclamation point, join, or not join, you can do exclamation point Discord in Twitch. If you're not in Twitch, though, you can't do that. But, the thing with stage is I think I can pull you guys in to talk to me directly, and we can talk about things, like have an actual discussion. So I'm thinking that we can do that. If anybody wants to talk about things specifically, what I'm gonna want you to do is in the Twitch chat, YouTube chat, whatever chat, just say, and I can pull you up into it. The music stopped playing. Okay, no more hold music. I kind of like the hold music. But yeah, so here's the thing. Reckless. How do I feel about Reckless? I don't it starts, how does it start? What's the first line of Reckless? Okay, actually, first thing, this is major spoilers right off the bat. I neglected to read the family tree. I just didn't read it, like, at all. So when it says on the tree Ava Azer, and I didn't know that, you know? So that kind of was funny because so much what the fuck, hold on, there's a legend on this. I don't know if you guys open your books now. There's a legend, you can't see it. There's a legend in the corner that says royalty, sons, daughters, but there's no SDs anywhere. What the fuck, dude? This is actually confusing as hell, so I'm gonna ignore it. But the prologue of this book introduces this character A, right? Don't worry, Infinity. Don't worry, Infinity. It's not gonna be like a I'm not gonna be like, open this page. I might. I didn't actually think of that. But anyways, you love watching my videos. Also didn't look at the family tree. Yeah, see, we're the same. And thank you, by the way. Thanks for stopping by the stream. So it's just like, in the beginning, we get introduced to the character A. And it's kind of like, okay, who's A? Now, from Powerless, we know that A is Adina, from Powerless and Powerful. But obviously, Kai is not going to a willow tree with a bun to hang out with Adina, because he doesn't know who the fuck he knows who Adina is, but he didn't know Adina. Like it's mostly a knowing of her situation. Like they weren't like buddy, right? And so one of my biggest questions about this entire fucking book is why on earth, why Lauren Roberts chose to have two characters with the nickname A. Why did she choose to have two completely separate characters with the same nickname? I don't understand why she did that. Like, I don't... Why didn't she choose a different nickname? Why are they both A? Because it's fucking confusing. And Rahil, use Twitch chat. I'm not... I saw the family members because kids are irrelevant. If you guys... Oh, hold on. For those of you in the Twitter space... It's not a fucking Twitter space. I'm going crazy, bro. I'm going mental. My brain is not working correctly. Those of you in the Discord thing, we are live streaming as well. Ava is already short. Yeah, Ava is also already short. Like, what the fuck? It's already a short name. And so I just thought, like, she could have probably thought of a different nickname. And she also could have thought of a different name. You know? Spoiler for Powerful. Okay, well, if you've read Reckless, you've probably read Powerful. I didn't read Powerful, but I don't really care. And I know everybody's gonna hate on me for that. Everybody's gonna be like, why the fuck didn't you read Powerful? And I didn't read Powerful because I just don't fucking want to. I don't want to. I don't care. I'll watch a summary of it. But you're saying Adina calls another prisoner A. So there's another A on top of that. Positive, it was just a cliffhanger aspect to leave us questioning, not thought through for the next book. Powerful is very sad. You should read it. Yeah, that's why I don't want to read it, because I don't want to get attached to a character that's already gone, you know? But, I just felt like it was confusing. Like, I understand how it could be cliffhangery, but I also am like, we could have just done something else. We could have just switched it up. But that was the biggest question I had. And, you know, I talked about it in some of my shorts, and I talk about it in my Reckless reading vlog, which I'm still working on. Hopefully the Reckless reading vlog will be up on YouTube this weekend. That's the plan. I mean, not this weekend, but like next weekend. I'm trying to do weekly YouTube uploads, and I think that the Reckless reading vlog will be next week's. But it's like it was just eating at me. I was just like, why did we reuse that name? Yeah, Ava is short. Why shorten Ava even more? It doesn't make sense. I also think Powerful was better than both books. I think the emotional, to be honest, what makes me want to read Powerful is I think the emotional weight of Powerful is gonna be super duper helpful in making it feel like a better book, like feel like a really hefty book, because it really fucking digs at that emotion that you have, right? And when a book makes me cry, I'm so locked in. Like I'm so 100% locked in. Like I cannot give a book a 5-star unless it makes me cry. If it makes me cry, fucking fantastic. Otherwise, it's not getting a 5-star. You should read it for the new character. Oh yeah, is that somebody with an M? Is that somebody with an M? He's an important character, right? So I did have a little thing, by the way. Mac. Yeah, okay. I did have a little thing. Makoto, yeah. So I didn't read the bonus chapter. I didn't realize it was so many pages. Because I was thinking about reading the bonus chapter on stream, but it's a lot of pages. It's not even a lot of pages. It's how many pages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 pages. It's not that long, but it's kind of long. But I was thinking about that because I'm reading the bonus chapter because I hadn't read that. But let's talk about the book a little bit more. You guys liked it, is what's appearing to be the thing. Is you guys fucking loved it. Is how it feels. I thought it was a very like book. It was very book. On a scale of bad book to good book, it was very book. Like there were a lot of parts and twists that really pulled me in, but there were a lot of times where I was kind of just like, you know? Hey, Bibliophile, I saw you followed me offline. Ow, I just hit my elbow. Thanks for the follow, appreciate it. The brother, are we talking about, who are we talking about? Yeah, there's a bonus chapter, I don't know, I think it's only in special edition, or like in, your Barnes & Noble edition, or your, Indigo. Why am I think blanking? I have an Indigo edition. The Indigo edition. Yeah, there's a Kit bonus chapter. Then somewhere else there's a Lenny bonus chapter, right? Like, what the fuck happened to Lenny? Lenny just disappeared. That was weird. Bro just left. For me, it wasn't as good as Powerless, but it just set up Fearless. I can't fully judge it until then. Yeah, that's true. Hi, Lee. Welcome in. That's true. I didn't like it as much as Powerless either, but I do like what it set up. That's the thing. I do like what it set up. You bought the Amazon and Indigo edition? Yeah, the Indigo edition has it in the back. Hey, Gracie, welcome in. Gracie, just want to let you know, I'm not sure if you have the Twitch enjoyer role on Discord, but after the book club discussion, I'm going to continue being live. I am going to be playing a game. I'm not sure if you give a shit about that, but once we're done chatting about this, I'll still be live and we won't be talking about Reckless anymore if you want to come back later. But Ira Hill, welcome back. I kind of want to read it. Now I kind of want to read. I don't know. I think Fearless is going to be really good. I think Fearless is going to hopefully be the best. I'm hoping it'll be the best one. I think the setup's good. There's a lot of questions that are just not answered for Fearless. And we're going to see that, what, April? Is that going to be April next year? So in almost a year, it's going to be almost, oh my god, the amount of, so many books are going to come out between then and then. Onyx Storm is going to come out between here and then. Onyx Storm is going to come out between now and Reckless. On January 21st, right? It's the finale, so it should be good. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. But I am a little... yeah, it's a trilogy. It's a trilogy. I am a little nervous, though, because, like... For example, the Cruel Prince series, everybody's favorite book is the second one. I feel like so many series or trilogies, so many of them, the second book is usually the best book. So I'm hoping that this is just going to be different. I'm hoping this will be different. And, well, technically the novella, wait, technically the novella is the second book. Technically. Because it came out second. And people like it the most. So actually, maybe it does follow the same pattern. But hopefully, I'm hoping Fearless will be good. But do we want to read this? Do you want me to read the bonus chapter out loud, audiobook style? With my slurring words and inability to speak like a normal human being? It's literally has forced marriage. Ain't no way Fearless won't be good. I think that'll be interesting. I think it's going to be interesting. I saw there were a lot. Oh, there was a novella? She's going to do another novella? About when? Lenny? A Lenny novella? Like, where the fuck where the fuck Lenny at? I love that Lee is saying read, and Lee hasn't even read this book. But there was, before I read, there was an interesting theory that people had. We'll talk about other parts of the books too, but there was an interesting theory that people had about the plot twist at the end, right? With the marriage proposal, that shit. A lot of people were thinking that the reason for that is because Callum is controlling Kit. Because Callum's got the brain power. So a lot of people were thinking that Callum is working behind the scenes and controlling Kit to do that, to get more legitimacy inside the royal family. I don't know. That was a theory. That was one of the theories. But, and I think that's an interesting theory. That's kind of sick. That's kind of awesome. Now, let's read the chapter. So this is the Indigo bonus chapter. Indigo exclusive books bonus chapter. It is unfortunately wait. I have to fix the Argo wide. To nobody's joy, a Kit chapter. It's a Kit chapter. It's Kit's perspective. No one gives a shit about Kit. I don't care about Kit. Kit's chapters sucked. I hated them. They were very quick. They were very quick though, luckily. But it is that. In Powerful, there's this thing that says which fatals the king has, and he has one mind reader and one mind manipulator. So Callum is the mind reader the king has. The theory is that he's also the mind manipulator. I think, yeah, the mind power all being one thing, one guy would make sense. This is interesting. Oh, I thought of another question I wanted to ask. Hold on. After I read this, I'm remembering a question I asked. Okay, I'm writing it down so I can ask you after we read this. Okay. 6 years. No, I'm not gonna do that. 6 years ago. The list of dead people grows blurrier with each tired blink. This is Kit. I definitely shouldn't call them that. No, fuck, I'm already messing it up. Isn't it too much power he holds? What do you mean? Anyways, no, that thought can never leave the confines of my throbbing head. Father is one of them, after all. A king. Just... What? Wait a second. Father's one of the kings. Oh. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a dumbass. My brain just shut off. He said, the list of dead people, and then he's like, my father's one of them. And I'm like... Why is he saying his father's one of the dead people 6 years ago? Don't think. Read. Okay, fine. Yeah, you're right. You're right. A king, just like the names were. Their legacy summed up with a single drag of the quill, and I'd hate to remind him that one day his own name will be added to the page of history. I glance up, hoping to stare at something other than the ink-stained pages piled before me, and so begins the little game I've created for myself. This is 6 years ago, okay, so he's a little kid. My eyes dart around the room, head still bowed. I steal as many seconds as I can, seconds in which I look at anything but dull pages between my fidgeting fingers. Seconds of stolen color as I take in the study around me before... Have you memorized them yet? He catches me. My eyes drift back to the page, defeated. Not quite. Pallius. Pallius? Pallius? I don't know what that word means, guys. I don't fucking know what that means. Pallius isn't as easy to remember. The king hums his agreement, though he doesn't... Guys. Why am I struggling so hard? Why is it so difficult? I'm gonna cry. Okay. The king hums his agreement, though he doesn't deign to look up from his own work. When I was your age, it was Favian that gave me the most trouble. Really? I sat up, hoping to hold Father's attention for as long as possible. Another game I like to play. His wife, Samora, is much harder for me to remember because perhaps if you keep your eyes on the page, you will find it much easier to memorize. I swallow the rest of my words at the sound of his cold ones. He doesn't seem angry or irritated, but I almost wish he was, because it's dismissal I hear in his tone, perhaps even disappointment. Sinking back into my seat, I stare blankly at the list of kings immortalized in swirling ink. Oh, Pallius is a king! Okay. We're locked in, guys. We're locked in. But once again, I'm glancing up at when the door... Every time I stop reading, I fuck up. Every time I stop with a thought, you're right. Bibliophile was right. Don't think. Just fucking read. Because it stumbles me up every goddamn time. Where the hell were we? But once again, I'm glancing up when the study doors swing open. His boots are caked in mud, though he generously shares it with the rest of the room, trailing clumps in his wake. The worn rag dulls further between his stomps as he shoots me a quick smile, one that can only mean trouble, before turning his attention back to Father. Your Majesty, Kai's voice cracks marvelously, as though puberty has pressed all its weight against his throat. I duck my head, hiding my smile beneath a hand. To his credit, Kai clears his throat and carries on. I would like to request Kit for the rest of the afternoon. He holds the king's unwavering gaze with a determination I admire. For training, in the yard. Exhaling, Father drops the papers onto his desk with a soft thud. Kit has failed to memorize his predecessors, especially Pallius failed. A little Six little letters joining to create. Six little letters join. Six. I want to end myself. Six little letters joining to create my biggest fear. The word echoes around my skull, beating like a drum. Failed. 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 I would be happy to quiz him in the ring, Kai offers, trying his best to ignore the betraying squeak in his voice. Father waves a dismissive hand that has me swallowing. Fine. He will just have to continue his studies this evening. We don't allow the king enough time to change his mind. I've practically shoved Kai out the door before Father's deep voice stalls our steps. Keep him close to the castle, and do be delicate with my air, Kai. By the time we head out into the training yard, its muddy rings dappled in the sunlight, Kai has thoroughly reminded me of my delicacy. Delicacy? Delicacy? I'm not good. I'm having a mental breakdown. Delicacy? Reminding me of... Oh, delicate. Delicacy. I thought food. Am I crazy for thinking food? Anyways, I'm surprised he even let you outside on such a sunny day. Plagues forbid his air gets sunburnt, Kai muses. I shove him lightly. Hey, I'd gladly take the... Fuck this, guys. Should we read slow motion? Maybe that'll be better. Maybe it's my speed that's the problem. Maybe we need to do slow motion. Where the fuck are we? Kai glances over at me through the black strands of hair sticking to his brow. How were your kingly lessons today? We step into a ring, grabbing No, we're done. It's it. That's it. It's over. It's GG's. You guys are cooked. You don't get to know the chapter anymore. Nope. If you need it, you have to buy it or find it online. We're done. I don't got it. I don't got it in me. I don't got it in me, Chihiro. I don't got it in me. I keep fucking it up. This is why English teachers made students read. It is. In my defense, I had to do school online in the end. I had to do school online for the last 2 years, and they didn't have me doing that shit. What if we embrace it? What if we do it? What if we do it as stupid? How are you gonna do chapter 54 if you can't do this? Mari, I would really appreciate it if those fingers you're using to type would stop doing that. No, you're right. Okay. Why is English an exhausting language to speak? Why am I just incapable of being decent at anything? All right. We'll try again. Okay, we're gonna try again. And the thing is I would say fuck it and do voices, but the problem is that they're like teenagers, so like they're like 14, so I can't do like a brooding, sexy Kai voice when he's 14 and his voice is cracking. It just doesn't work. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't do the thing. Michaela, thank you for the follow. We're currently talking about Reckless, and I'm reading the bonus chapter from Indigo and suffering because I'm ass at it. You know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna do something that I did when I was a kid. That's gonna help me out. Also, so here's the thing. I tried a child voice. I tried to do a Kai inspired outfit, but then I put the purple on because I realized I don't have a black button up. So it's just kind of an outfit now. It's not really Kai inspired, but I like it. I'm a fan of it. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use a bookmark to keep track of where we are. All right. If I can even find where we started. Hold on. Because he could say, well, actually, I couldn't do a sexy Kai voice anyways because he's talking to his brother, and that would be weird. It would be weird if he did that, if he spoke that way to his brother. So, never fucking mind. We step into the ring, grabbing sparring swords off a rusty rack. I run a hand up the blade, about as dull as these swords. He shrugs. Could be worse. I take in my brother then, all wiry muscles and 2 long legs. His unruly head of hair has barely reached his nose, though he seems to have aged significantly these past few years. And your training? I ask lightly, restraining my urge to pry. Another guarded shrug, this time paired with a kick of his boot into the dirt. Oh, you know, just the usual. No, I don't, because he never tells me. I haven't the slightest idea what he and father do during their early morning training sessions. Then again, Kai isn't exactly the type to offer up information. Following our just normal voice. Yeah, I know. I'm just doing normal voice. I'm not gonna hit him with a. Oh, you know, the usual. What the fuck? Anyways, following our usual routine, we run through a series of sword drills. I feel sloppy. Each swing feeling unfamiliar to me. Father only recently allowed me to begin training with Kai, but even those days are few and far between. After being bested several times by my much littler brother, I hear him pant, "Hey, when was the last time you visited?" His head swivels, checking the empty rings around us. "The last time you visited Ava. She misses you, especially that trick you do with the water." This time, it's my voice that cracks. "Well, you can always do that trick for her." His brows bunch, hurt flashing across his features. "Not really. Not without you." "Right." I force a smile. "I'll make my way out to the West Tower this week. Spend some time with her." Okay, you're telling me that Kit... No talking. Stop that. Oh, shit. Okay. I'll hold my thoughts. Cool anger settles over his features at the mention of the West Tower, the cold, dreary corner of the castle Ava's been shoved into. But Kai knows better than to pick a fight with me about this, again. We've already had plenty of arguments about Father's treatment of Ava. Kai thinks it's disgusting, cruel even, to hide his sister from the world because of a weakness she was born with. But I, like I always do, understand Father. I know him, his decisions, his laws, and the reasoning behind each one. Just like I know that Kai will never understand what sacrifices must be made to maintain Ilya's strength, and keeping Ava a secret is one of those sacrifices. Kai gives himself a moment to swallow the argument brewing in his throat. Distracting himself, he begins to fuck! Every time I think, oh, I'm actually doing decent, I fuck up. Distracting himself, he begins clumsily flipping the sword's hilt in his palm, determined to master the trick. Good. You should come with us tonight. Come with you? I asked skeptically. Ava isn't exactly allowed to go anywhere. No, she isn't. His smile is alarmingly mischievous. But I think it's about time she steps outside. He swallows, smirk vanishing. Before it's too late. Kai, I say gently. I don't know if that's... I'm just gonna show her the gardens. He cuts in, persistent. It'll be dark, and we owe it to her, don't you? I think we owe it to... I think we owe it to her, don't you? I blink slowly, not even slower. Okay. He smiles in relief. So you'll come with us? I swallow the guilt beginning to clog my throat. Yes, I'll come with you. I'm not a liar. Not usually. But I'm also not one to crush the spirits of a boy now freshly 13 of age. A brother. No, I couldn't look him in the eyes and tell him how I feel. Tell him that Ava's more his sister than she is mine. I don't fit in with the pair of them. Swallowed in shadows and staring out the window, I feel like an imposter. They are huddled behind a particularly large shrub at the edge of the garden. Ava's small hand fitted firmly inside of Kai's. He looks around then, scanning the dark path for any sign of movement, any sign of me. The sight sends a pang of guilt slamming into my chest. He stands there, expectant. The seconds stretch by painfully, allowing me plenty of time to regret my decision. I watch as each swivel of his head grows slower, each spark of excitement in his eye dulls. Each shake of his head before he leads Ava down the path without me. I swallow, feeling shame stain my cheeks with scarlet. He's given up on me. And it's better that way. Better that he spends time with his sister alone. Kai and I are tethered together for life, but Ava doesn't have much longer. Pushing the blunt thought away, I watch. Deep breaths, Gavin. Deep breaths. Pushing the blunt thought away, I watch them walk hand in hand. I practically hear Ava's contagious giggle. Her contagious giggle. Contagious giggle from behind these stone walls. See the crunch of her little nose, the scrunch of her little nose that accompanies it. Her inky hair swishes. It doesn't wash. It swishes. It swishes, guys. It doesn't wash. It swishes. Swishes. With each skipping step as she scans the shadowed gardens. I lean against the window, breath clouding the glass. They sneak down the winding paths, shoulders shaking with shared laughter. Like an enthusiastic shadow, Ava scurries behind the other, copying every move. Her hair swishes. Kai scoops her into his arms, setting her on the edge of the fountain, where she sits innocently before splashing him thoroughly. They laugh, they enjoy the night, they do it all without me. The pair of them are separable only by death, and he looms. I lean forward, watching a familiar fit of coughs rack Ava's little body. Kai wraps a comforting arm around her as if to protect her from the sickness coursing through her veins, but she's hardly deterred by the impending doom everyone sees when they look at her. Instead, she stubbornly collects herself before hopping in from the fountain to pick every flower in sight. I'm not sure how long I stand there, how long I envy the bond they have, how much I would give to be loved so deeply by someone, because I would do anything for father to look at me the way Kai looked at Ava. I tip my forehead against a cool glass, annoyed by my need to be needed. That's so real. Anyways, that's too deep, too fucking deep. My life would be so much simpler if I didn't spend it trying to do the impossible, please my father. When I finally find the courage to drag my gaze over the garden once again, I'm greeted only by shadows. I press a hand against the glass, clouding it with each breath as I peer into the darkness. They're gone. A slow, small smile begins to tilt at my lips. And I know where they've gone. Turning away from the window at long last, I set a steady pace down the eerie, empty halls. Yes, I am envious of their relationship, but I have plenty to learn from it. Because I've been trying to learn how to be loved my entire life. It's not long before I'm met with an autumn breeze and the crunch of leaves beneath my boots. I weave through the gardens quickly, familiar with each turn and flower planted beside it. But it's the grassy field beyond that I'm heading for, home of the towering willow. Its branches scrape the ground, dragging greedy fingers across the blanket of soft grass. Ducking beneath its dome of leaves, I'm welcomed by a giggly squeal. Little arms wrap around my legs, accompanied by an even littler voice. Kitty! Kitty. Oh, nickname. Kitty. I smile at the nickname she's given me before wrapping my arms around her. I'm sorry I'm late. I got held up. I glance up in time to catch Kai watching me closely. His smile is relieved, a slight nod, a quiet thank you, one I don't deserve. We have to be quiet, Ava giggles, pressing a finger to her lips. This is a secret. I play along, lowering my voice. Yes, we must be very sneaky. I need water. Hey, Kane Bailey, thank you for the follow. I'm currently struggling to read through the bonus chapter of Reckless before we continue talking about it for the book club. Oh, fuck. I unplugged my headphones. Guys, there's always something going wrong. There's always something going wrong. I'm gonna end the stage. Actually, Evelyn, did you just join the stage? I'm gonna end the stage because it's distracting me. Alright. Anyways. I play along, lowering my voice. Yes, we must be very sneaky. She's suddenly whipping around and scurrying for Kai. After snatching something from behind his back, she returns, winded from the movement. Look, she pants, I picked so many flowers. She shoves the colorful bouquet beneath my nose, forcing me to bite back a sneeze. I can see that. You are quite the florist. Her nose scrunches. What's that? I cut off Kai's soft chuckle. It's a fancy word for someone who picks flowers. Most blooms do it for a living. At that, she offers me a beaming smile. Can I be a florist? I swallow, forcing the lump in my throat to sink towards my stomach. Because she won't get to pick flowers for long. The ones clenched in her face might not even wilt before death makes its way up the creaky steps to the West Tower. She won't even grow old enough to pronounce florist correctly. Jesus, kid! Fuck. And when I meet Kai's eyes, I see the same sorrow reflected in them. I force a smile onto my lips. You can be anything you'd like. She ponders this for a moment. I think I'd like to be in this tree. I laugh, and Kai echoes the sound. Ava hardly seems to notice as she turns to face the massive trunk, sizing it up. With her little hand when her little hands shoot out towards Kai, he doesn't hesitate before grabbing hold of them and crouching is the word, guys. Crouching, C-R-O-U-C-H-E-D, crouching to her height. It's H-E-R. It's not his. Hers. Deep breaths, Gavin. Deep breaths. I shift up my feet, glancing away when Kai's lips meet each of it. Glancing away when Kai's lips meet each of Ava's fingertips. I'm writing this down. That's something I want to talk about too. Fingertips. Okay. It feels as though I'm intruding in one of their sweet moments, witnessing a ritual I'm not meant to be a part of. Ava's sickness has made being a crawler all the more difficult. She's weak and easily fatigued, but she's always her strongest when Kai kisses those tiny fingers of hers, because she believes in him, believes that action lends her some of his power. It's him she looks to for strength, and I wonder what it must feel like to be someone's rock, someone's constant, someone's beloved. I look up in time to catch Kai's planting his final kiss on Ava's pinky. You're all set, eh? Hand in hand, they weave through the maze of roots, stopping before a gnarled trunk. Kai places her hand on the rough bark, smiling down at her. Got plenty of strength in those fingers to make it up there. She nods, determined as ever. A sudden coughing fit has her faltering, but nothing could keep her from conquering the willow tree. By the time she's caught her breath, several feet already separate her from the ground. Thank God, we're almost fucking done with this goddamn chapter. Jesus Christ. She climbs, giggling with each movement. It's not long before those giggles turn to heavy breathing, and heavy breathing into coughs. But she clings to the tree despite it all, climbing towards the heaven she will one day wake up in. A place with plenty of flowers for her to pick. I listen to Kai's shouted encouragements. Watch the way he smiles up at her shadowy figure. In fact, I've watched them for years. Perhaps being loved begins with little things. The kisses on the fingers, the spooning of warm broth into another's mouth, the learning of one's very own soul, or the memorization of one's lineage. Maybe it's the simple things that grow into something more. Willingness, obedience, memorization, perfection in the eyes of Father. If that's the price for adoration, then I'll gladly pay it. And perhaps it all begins with that name I didn't believe I'd remember. I turn away from the tree, lips twitching, and repeat a single word in my mind, over and over. Peleus. That's it. That's the chapter. That has to be something. Okay, wait. There has to be something with Peleus. Or Peleus. There has to be fucking something. Is he the first king? I think he was the first king. Because why would that chapter say that? Why would he say that? Perhaps it all begins with that name he didn't believe I'd remember. So is he talking about the like getting the approval? Or is this like a hint that there's something's going to happen with that first king of Ilia in the next book? That's suspicious. That's fucking suspicious. That's suspicious. Here's the thing, guys. This is a work in progress. Thank you for coming to watch me attempt to be decent at reading out loud. Practice makes perfect. Okay, I'll keep at it. We'll get better. We'll get better. I'll make sure I ace it for when I do the chapter 54 of Mist and Fury stream. But now we can actually talk about the book now. So that chapter basically reinvigorated my dislike of Kit. I don't like him. Whereas the bonus chapter in the book, I think mine doesn't have any. Well, this is the Indigo exclusive. I think that the Barnes & Noble exclusive has one, the Indigo exclusive has one, and then there's two more. I don't think the base book has one though. I only have this copy. I don't have another copy. They're probably online though. But I don't like Kit. I don't like Kit. Him neglecting his dying sister doesn't make me like him anymore. Books a Million. Books a Million is the third one. You're right. Thank you. Yeah, I don't like him. He's a dickbag. I like, even if he's not being controlled, he like, I understand the idea of like wanting to be wanted, wanting to be needed, like that type of thing. But he takes it and he lets it fuck with everybody in his life, and he lets it make him into like a kind of a dickhead who seeks this at the expense of others. You got a random one on Amazon. Yeah, the Books a Million exclusive's pink, right? The petals are pink. The base is red. Indigo and Barnes & Noble have blue, and then Books a Million has pink petals on the front. So yeah, the fingertips. I want to talk about that. That was something that kind of had me chuckling. I was kind of cackling a little bit about that. because earlier in the book, like when he's talking to Pei, like that was a flashback scene later. But when he was talking to Pei, he was like, I've never kissed anybody's fingertips that weren't hers. And I'm just like, what? That's a fucking weird line. Like I get it. It's supposed to be like, oh yeah, Pei, you're special. You're like one of a kind. Like I've never done this for anybody besides my little sister who's dead now. Like I get that, but I've never kissed anyone's fingertips but her. It's such a weird line. It's so weird. It's like it's like okay, that's great, man. And that was one thing with this book. I did enjoy it, but I do feel like Kai was so dramatic. Kai was such a dramatic character the entire time. He was so just like metaphor, 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 poetry, poetry, poetry. Like he was such a drama queen. It's so funny. But that was something I actually made a video. I made a video that I didn't end up I only posted on TikTok. I didn't end up posting it on Instagram. But where I asked a very specific question. And I want you guys to know if you guys can answer this for me, because I kind of forgot. Is there an enforcer in Powerless? Or is Kai the enforcer in Powerless as well? Because with Reckless, it's like, oh, he's coming into his new role as the King's Enforcer. That's like it's like this new it's phrased as this new role. Or this like I remember it saying somewhere that like yeah, so he was training to become the enforcer for Kit. So is he like the first ever enforcer then? There was never an enforcer before him? That's random. So random some nepotism shit for the fucking king fucking nepotist. That's crazy. Because I was wondering about that. I was like, did the king have one? But I guess it was just Kai being trained to. I mean, there could have been past ones, I guess, but they just weren't talked about or mentioned at all. But I thought it was interesting. Or the current enforcer was doing something else. maybe we'll learn about it in Fearless. I was just curious about that because the Forcer is this big role that it seems like Kai is just the one. So it could definitely be something interesting. It could be pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, that was a thing. So there's a new king that was given to Kai so he wouldn't feel left out. Maybe. I wouldn't put it past him. I gave this book 3 stars. Like I was saying earlier, not the best book ever, not the worst book ever. I just felt like some things were kind of silly, some things were kind of like overly dramatic, overly, what's the word? Not edgy, but like there were some moments that felt like fan fiction. There were some fan fiction-y moments. Set up for Kai to be king if something happens to Kit. Yeah, that's the thing. I think Kai's gonna end up being king. I think Kai's gonna be the king, and Peyton's gonna be the queen. I don't know what's gonna happen to Kit. He'll either do something unforgivable and then they'll kill him. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I don't think that I cannot imagine a dynamic where Kit is king, Kai is enforcer, and Peyton is still in the mix with Kai. So I think that Kai just has to take that spot. So I think that we're gonna watch. I think in Fearless we're gonna watch Kit descend from an annoyance to a genuine piece of shit, all in hopes of validation. Maybe he'll just step down. Maybe he'll be like, fuck this, and then he'll just go live in the woods alone. Kit to sacrifice himself. That could be good. Self-sacrifice could be a good way to get rid of Kit. That'd definitely be a good way, actually. I'm trying to think of like, oh yeah, this is a big thing. Okay, so as we know, there's a series of big reveals that happen one after another, right? So Peyton finds her father's journal in the house before. Oh, dude, when okay, I got something in my eye, but when at the beginning of the book, when Kai goes into her old house and burns it to the fucking ground and just walks out, that shit in my head was so fucking badass. Dude is so emotionally turned off. He just fucking obliterated it and walked out. Like, that was like such a villain thing to do, but it was so sick. It was so cool. What if Kit sucked and reckless because of Callum? That was a theory, right? That was a theory, is that Callum's controlling him. But the problem with that is that I still don't fuck with Kit in Powerless. And that chapter was 6 years ago, and I don't fuck with Kit 6 years ago. So I fundamentally don't like him as a person. That would be a super interesting theory, though. I wouldn't be surprised. That'd be a very interesting, that'd be a cool little twist. But anyways, Peyton finds her father's journal, and then they use it to make a fire for some fucking reason, because they can't. I don't know the thought process behind that, to be honest. It's like, yeah, we have to have a fire to dry our stuff, and we have no clothes, but it's also like, or we have no paper, but it's also you're burning your father's journal. What the fuck? So, wasn't really sure about that one, but I feel like she changed his character from book 1 to book 2. Well, yeah, because he's fucking traumatized and emo, and the one person he was seeking validation from is dead and can never validate him. So now he's a fucking mess. But it would be sick if he's being manipulated. I'm curious about that. I got here late, so I don't know what happened in the chapter, because I got the end. I don't feel like he'll care more about Kai's happiness. He wouldn't do that to him. Yeah, that's so confusing. I don't know why he would do that to Kai, because I know he cares about Kai. So the manipulation thing is definitely potential. What if Kai's the true enemies? I fucking hate that. When people pull that shit with a Dane from Fourth Wing, I'm like, nah. It's not the true enemies of lovers. Nah. Don't even say that. Nah. But they use her father's journal to make a fire, because they can't do it otherwise. And in doing so, they discover his actual, like, diary, essentially. And big spoiler, I mean, we're just talking about spoilers, so you guys gotta get over it. But, big about Jack being the true enemies to lovers in Fourth Wing. That's crazy that you would even say that out loud with your mouth. That's crazy. Anyways, they open the diary of her father and read it. And this was such a great section. I love this section. Please not kid us. Yeah, no, fuck that. Fuck that. I was losing my mind during this part. They're flipping the pages, reading the journal, and then Peyton reads that her father buried his wife and unborn child a week before Peyton was supposedly born. The chills I got in that moment were so fucking awesome. I was like, oh my god. The entire fucking, her character completely just changed. So many questions came out of nowhere. That's the thing between them. They had a shitty upbringing, but they care for each other because they're the only thing they have. Regardless, kids loving her. I feel like he's the bigger man, like Kai Haver, because that's what they both want. Pei and Kai love each other. I feel like, yeah, I feel like that's how you would think Kit would act, and that's why it's weird that he didn't act in that way, right? That's what's confusing about it. But yeah, so we find out that Peyton is adopted, essentially, which is crazy, and people, the current story is that basically she's just some random ordinaries who didn't want to deal with her because she was ordinary, type of thing. Couple problems with that. Problem one, isn't it like part of the lore and the magic system that children develop their powers after a couple of years when they're young? Like, they aren't born with their powers? Like, so I refuse to believe that Pei's parents are random nobodies. I refuse to believe that they're just random people, random ordinaries or whatever. Right? And here's the other thing. Why would random ordinaries abandon an ordinary? Because if two ordinaries have a kid, it's a guarantee they're going to be ordinary. So why have, like, there's so many things that I'm just, I just, I refuse to believe that she's just some random ordinary orphan. I think there's more to that. I think in Fearless we'll learn more about her origins. Now, I think it would be super fucking lame if they gave her a power, because that kind of defeats the entire purpose of her not having a power. On one hand, it'd be awesome for her to have a power. On the other hand, it would kind of fuck with her character, so I don't want them to do that. But I do think that there has to be something with her parents. There has to be something with her parents that we don't know about. Yeah, why would ordinaries abandon an ordinary? So it's interesting. And two non-ordinaries, two people with powers. I forgot what they're called. What's the fucking name for people with powers? Whatever. Two of them would not have a child who's ordinary. And if they did have a child who's ordinary, they wouldn't know. Elite, thank you. Two elites wouldn't have an ordinary child because there's no ordinary genes. Elites or mundane, true. And you wouldn't know if they had, if you're an elite having a kid, you wouldn't know what their ability is for a little bit, because they're not like born, like they're not born on fire, because that would kill the mother. Like if they have a fire ability, right? So I think that her parents have to be ordinary, and they have to be ordinary people with some sort of relevance. Now, there's a possibility that she's a mix. Maybe she's a mix and just has a very mundane power. Maybe she's a mix and has a power that just doesn't, like, it's not like flip, like you just don't realize it, right? Maybe, potentially. I don't know. We'll see in Fearless when it comes out next year. But I just know there's more going on with her parents. There's definitely more going on with her parents. And here's the big thing. Here's the big thing that I was like, what the fuck? Is this a plot hole in Reckless as a whole? In Powerless, we are introduced to the big concept of the story that there are elites and mundanes have abilities, and there are ordinaries who don't. And the ordinaries who don't are banned because they supposedly have a disease that reduces the power of the elites. It takes their power away. It drains their power. So, in the beginning, you go through Powerless, and you're like, okay, whatever, disease. It's a disease. Is it really a disease? Who knows? And then at the end, it's essentially revealed. You're essentially told in Powerless that, oh, there's no disease. He gaslit you. When she fights the king and kills him, that's the other thing. At the end of Powerless, she kills the king and a site watches it. A site records her killing the king. That site did not come into play in Reckless at all. And that site was a child. That site wasn't like an adult site. I'm pretty sure the site was a little girl, right? So in Fearless, they have to... I mean, this has to be how they show the people. This has to be how they teach the people that the ordinaries don't have a disease. Is that site from Powerless recorded her killing the king when the king admits to lying. Because the king, in that fight at the end of Powerless, when Peyton kills the king, he admits to making it all fucking up. And that's on video. The site recorded that. So that in Fearless, that's going to be how they get the information to everybody. The king just basically outing himself. So fantastic. I'm surprised that didn't come up at all in here. But that we can't forget about that. That still has to come into play. But when she kills the king, that gets revealed. We realize there's no disease, right? Then in Reckless, there's a lot of questions. A lot of questions about Kai's perception of shit. Because at the beginning of Reckless, Kai knows one thing. He knows that because in Powerless they revealed themselves, the Ordinaries, the Rebellion, they revealed themselves. Kai knows that Ordinaries have been living amongst the elites for years. Because of that reveal, Kai knows that there's been Ordinaries undercover everywhere. Kai also knows that nobody's power is decreased. Nobody's losing power. So at the beginning of Reckless, how is he not even questioning the fact that there are Ordinaries living around him and nobody's losing power? And both of that directly contradicts the king's claims about the disease, right? And then, later, when he's hunting down Pei in Door, he approaches a merchant to buy some meat. Okay, I talk about that. I made a short about this, and I talk about this in my reading vlog that I'll be making. He approaches a merchant to buy meat. And in his head, he thinks that this merchant is just like the Ordinaries, except he doesn't have the disease. He explicitly says, oh, this guy is basically an Ordinary, but he doesn't have the Ordinary disease. Moments before that, he also says Door has the highest amount of refugees, of Ordinary refugees from Ilya, right? So, what's basically been established now is that Door has a fuck ton of Ordinaries who supposedly have this disease. These Ordinaries have a disease that weaken elites. But only the ones from Ilya. And the ones from Ilya don't spread that disease to anybody. That disease can't be spread to anybody. Because Kai says that merchant is an Ordinary without the disease. So he's basically admitting that not all Ordinaries have the disease. But how would he admit that not all the Ordinaries have the disease when there are diseased Ordinaries in Door with non-diseased Ordinaries, and they're together and nobody's getting disease? Like, he doesn't believe they're getting the disease. The non-diseased ones. So how the fuck would this disease even fucking work? Like, if Kai takes a step back and just thinks for a fucking moment, how would this disease fucking work? If it doesn't spread, if it doesn't, like, what? He is so far in the hole of illogical denial, it's not even fucking funny. It's actually fucking insane. The amount of shit in his face that's like, hey, this is not real, and he's like, yeah, it's real. Like, literally all the evidence is like, nah. And he doesn't even, but that's the thing. He never even fucking questions it until later. He doesn't fucking question it. There's not a moment where he's like, huh, I wonder. No. When it's revealed in her father's book that the disease is made up, when Kai learns from the journal that the king made up the disease, that's when we're like, oh, yeah, I guess the Ordinaries were living all around us and not making us weaker. Like, he doesn't think about it until then. There's not a single moment he's like, huh, I wonder. Like, it's just so fucking crazy to me. It's so crazy you could say the statement, he's an Ordinary without a disease, without being like, wait a second, how does he not have the disease? Like, where does this established belief come from? I don't know. Also, it made no sense for the king to kill him. Why kill her father? I feel like there's something going on. Something more important relates to the king and her father. Maybe a royal is one of her parents. That's what I was thinking. Some royalty, something. Because the king having such a grudge against a healer who just refuses to go work for him is so weird. Like, unless he found out about him being the leader of the rebellion, but I feel like he didn't find that out. So I don't know what the fuck that's about. If she's a mix, yeah. Yeah, I see some slights. One forms. The site is for trial of some sort, and the signs have proof of what happened. Yeah. The site's gonna come into play for sure. How do we know that Kit's seen the site? How do we know that Kit's seen what the site saw? Because the Kit was a little girl, or the site was a little girl. She wasn't like a worker at the palace or something. He trusts the healers. He accepts the disease doesn't exist. Yeah, that's true. And as we see later in the book, he does accept it. And he's like, oh, fuck. He's like, ah, shit. But it's just weird that he never, like, even entertains the idea of it maybe being wrong. Like, if he earlier in the book entertained the idea and then shut himself down, like, he was like, oh, no, I'm fucking crazy. Like, that type of thing, that would have made sense. But it's just weird that he never fucking thinks of it. He's gonna go through the next book more than usual. But he's gonna start questioning healers. Yeah. I mean, he's definitely gonna start interrogating them. He said he was gonna start interrogating them. Hey, Bingus! Hi! This kit made what we wanted to face the video. One kit's sent forms video, also the proof. The kit made the wanted, which is face wanted size kit sent the video because it seems so complicated. My brain isn't working. Imagine having a shitty childhood with a monster father. The only thing that makes him respect and care for him is the fact that he's training you, putting rules for every kid. Hiccups. How you doing, Bingus? Yeah. So that was just an interesting little bit of something shit that happened. I was laughing because when we played when I played Getting Over It, not Getting Over, when I played Chained Together with Kami and we were chained together, I was thinking, oh, funny, this is like Reckless. And then he called me a dead weight. And you guys were like, dead weight, haha, funny. And I was like, yeah, it is funny. And then I got to the part in the book where Peyton calls Kai a dead weight. And I was like, oh, it's just more Reckless shit. Pretty solid. Just got home from work. I've been doing good. Getting back to the content stuff. It's actually been so hype. Daily videos on Twitch. I'm doing weekly videos on YouTube. The streams are up and popping. I'm having fun with the streams. So everything's going great. Making good progress. We're cruising. Yeah, is there any other part of Reckless you guys want to talk about? Because I'm trying to think, like, the whole thing with Ava's weird. I think that I'm really curious about what happened to Lenny. I just found it funny, okay? Because Kai and Peyton get kidnapped from Lenny. No, I have not read Lenny's bonus chapter. And so I don't know what the fuck's going on there because Lenny just disappears for the rest of the book. Lenny's weird. He calls her princess. I don't know. Lenny's like, how old is Lenny? Hold on. Lenny powerless. Look on the wiki. Lenny powerless. He's he is. There's no age. There's no age. He can't be that old though. Yeah, I should probably. I'll read Powerful at some point soon. I'll read Powerful before Fearless comes out, for sure. Dun, 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 dun. Lenny has plans. I should read it. What are you suggesting, Lenny? Are you trying to get me to believe the royal relation theory more? Oh, yo, wait. What if Lenny's foreshadowing? That'd be crazy. I so many time I'm not here. I have it muted. Okay, ChemKit. It's a nice chapter. Go read. Where would I even read it? I don't even know where to read it. Lenny bonus chapter. Lenny bonus chapter Reckless. Blaze read it? Reckless bonus chapters. Where do I find it? Oh. There's a Peyton bonus chapter. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pages. I don't want to read it out loud. We already saw how bad I am at that. I don't want to fucking read it out loud. I've sent it in week 4 book club discussion. Week 4 of book club discussion. Book 4 discussion. What? What are you talking about? Do you send it in when the moon hat? No. Am I blind? I'm not seeing it, Mari. Didn't guess it. Imagine Pei being Kai's brother somehow. Pei being Kai's... Pei's a woman. Peyton is a woman. The king wants to get rid of her. The resistant knows that he calls her princess, giving us who she is. If they make Kai and Peyton siblings, I'm gonna jump off of something really high. Are they pinned? Oh, they're pinned. Haha. I see. I see. You and sister here. That'd be crazy if they... That was like be like some fucking... That'd be some, That'd be some... Oh, hey! Thanks for the sub. Oh, Bingus, you gifted the sub. Thank you for gifting the sub. I guess that... It'd be like some Star Wars Luke Leia shit. That'd be weird. I would hate that a lot, to be honest. Here's the issue that we're having, guys. Oh! Is that Bingus gifting? I'm confused. Oh, you gifted and you subbed. Okay, thank you, Bingus. Appreciate it. Here's the problem, guys. I want to read the chapter, but I'm really fucking bad at reading out loud. We just saw that. And yes, I do need to practice, but I feel like I've had enough practice for today. It's how many pages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pages. Peyton's chapter is a flashback too. Cringe. Cringe! I found the link. Don't worry, I found it. I'm torn. I don't think I'm gonna do it. I have to practice. Guys, I'm gonna let you know a little bit of a secret. What I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna just sit here in this chair. I'm gonna sit here in this chair. I'm gonna sit here in this chair and not be live and just read out loud to get better at reading out loud. And I think in doing that, it'll also improve my ability to not trip over words and sound like a fucking idiot. So I think it's gonna be a win-win bonus for everybody. Dun. So, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else we have to talk about the Reckless that we haven't talked about? I mean, for a lot of people, the test stream wasn't successful. Yeah, it was a test. Yeah. Embrace tripping over words. It happens. Yeah, that's true. That's true. A lot of people finished Reckless and they were like, oh, I'm gonna die. I need to read Fearless right now. I need Fearless right fucking now. I need it. I fucking need Fearless. And I finished it. I finished it and I was like, whoa, I wonder what happens next. I guess I'll wait a year. And that's kind of how I feel about it. Like, I don't need Fearless right now. I'm excited to get Fearless. I'm excited for it. But, like, everybody was, like, losing their mind. And I'm kind of just like, it'll come out. And I'll read it when it comes out. I'm not all that, like... It's a very, like I said before, it's a very 3-star book for me. It's very, like, it was good. Cool. Whatever. Next book. Reckless feels incomplete. It's interesting because Powerless was heavily influenced by Hunger Games and Red Queen. Like, plot-wise. And then Reckless is, like, the first time, like, it's her own plot line completely. And so that might be why it feels a little bit less complete, just because it's not like a predetermined structure, you know what I mean? Okay. Is Chem Kit muting because she hasn't read it? I'm confused. I mean, she can do whatever she wants. I'm just confused. So yeah. It switches up to character focus. Yeah. And the alternating perspectives, I do like I do like Kai's chapters. I like that. His chapters are like whatever. I like Kai's chapters. I do think Kit's chapters, I think Kit's chapters make the final chapter better. Like, if Kit didn't have his chapters and the stuff that happened at the end of the book happened, it would be weirder feeling and more disjointed. Kit's chapters I don't like, because I don't like Kit, but they do help give a little bit of a perspective to the stuff that happens later, to the proposal and shit. So I don't know. It's interesting. I'm curious what how Fearless is gonna do. I'm curious what POVs are gonna be in Fearless, if it's gonna be mostly Kai. Because this was like 60% Peyton, 40% Kai. This was like 60%, no. This was like 50% Peyton, 40% Kai, 10% Kit. And I think that Fearless is probably going to have more Kai. I think it's going to be more like 50% Kai, 60% Kai. I think Kai is going to be more of the main character. At least equal with Peyton. Even more so than this, because there's just so much shit going on. He has to do his own investigation on the side, like his own little side story as she's dealing with her shit. I feel like Kit's POV would be good if Lauren was capable of making me feel emotions. That's fair. That's funny. That's funny to say. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. We're gonna see though. We're gonna see. That's so fucking funny. Yeah, I mean, Reckless made me like borderline cry twice. But I don't think it made me cry because the book. I think the book just had an emotional thing happen, and I was already emotionally weak and frustrated because I was doing stuff, like I was doing work that I didn't really want to do, and so I was already in kind of a shit mood, and I was like, "Fuck, this is I feel so like shit." And then some depressing, stressful, crazy shit happens in Reckless, and I'm like, "Fuck." So I don't think the emotions I felt in Reckless was because of the writing; it was just because of my life circumstance in the moment I was reading it. Dorian POV and Queen of Shadows. I cannot wait for that. I can't wait for Queen of Shadows. I am pretty excited. I have so much to read this month, but I am excited for Queen of Shadows when I read it. But my TBR has been officialized. My TBR is my TBR, and I'm not gonna change it or add anything. In September, I might add. Well, in September, I'll definitely read. I'll definitely read Queen of Shadows in September. That'll be on my September TBR. I'm gonna probably TBR jar for September, because I think TBR jar is a more popular like video format. So that'll be interesting. That'll be fun for September. Anyways, is there anything else you guys want to talk about on Reckless? Any other moments, scenes that I forgot to talk about? Because there's a Lemmy bonus chapter, but I haven't read that yet. Not continue Throne of Glass yet, because you started Six of Crows. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I just posted my Reckless... I just posted my last Reckless video before stream. I did my Reckless before and after. And for the record, guys, for the fucking record, I made my Reckless before and after video today, and this is a short, this is not a long form, this is a short. I genuinely really fucking like that video. I really like how I made that video. I really, really enjoyed how it all came together. We're gonna watch it. Fuck it. We're gonna watch it real quick. It's 30 seconds. We're gonna watch it. I just recently read Powerless, and I am dying to know what happens next. I'm praying that we get some good enemies to lovers. That was so funny. my big hope with Reckless was some genuine Cruel Prince style enemies to lovers. And then I fucking read the last chapter. And I'm also hoping that there's no more love triangles. See you in a bit. That was quite literally the most love triangle BS that could have happened. I was cackling. I was cackling when I read that last I wasn't crying. I was cackling because I knew in my before segment of the before and after video, I explicitly said, I hope there's no love triangle shit. And then the last fucking chapter, Kit proposes to Pei. That the most fucking love triangle shit that could possibly happen happened. And so I read that shit, I was like, you're fucking kidding me, bro. You're fucking kidding me.
I don't like Kit. I mean, I don't like Kit. He knows his brother's feelings, yet he still did that. Now, I've heard some Callum theories that are very, very interesting. But for the book in general, it was pretty good. For me, it was a solid 3 stars. Not the best book ever, but definitely not the worst book ever. I liked a lot of it. There were just a couple things that kind of messed with me. You'll see that when I post my reading vlog. But overall, I am hyped for Fearless. I want to see what happens next. And I read this for my book club, so it's time to go live. And
all that promo shit. Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, God damn. God damn. God damn. That's just so goofy though. You say I always jinx stuff, and I wonder about that, because I wonder if I predict things, because there's 2 options. I'm either reading really predictable books, or I'm a fucking genius. And I wish I could be like, oh, because I'm a writer, it gives me special insight, and that's how I can figure out what's going to happen later in the book. But I'm pretty sure I'm just reading really predictable books. I don't think it has anything to do with my skill set. I don't think I can take any fucking credit for that. I just think the books are incredibly predictable. To be honest. So, bummer for fucking me. Bummer, but what can you do? Yeah, I'm trying to see. Let me look at let me look at my other Reckless videos and see if there's anything that we can talk about that I didn't mention. I just want real enemies. Those were from my YouTube. Reckless by Lauren Roberts. Remember that love triangle from I said this. I just read a massive that we talked about. One thing from Reckless that made me cry also made me laugh. So the identity. This is the kissing the thumb thing. Something happened in Reckless that makes me want to stand up for myself. This was a funny thing. Okay, yeah, wait, hold on, pause moment. Okay, we gotta take a moment here. There is one scene in Reckless that makes no fucking sense, and I don't understand why it's there at all. And it reminds me of when we played Firewatch last stream. We played Firewatch. Interesting, fascinating game for those of you who were here. You basically play as a guy who's at a watchtower in the Cascades looking for fires alone with only a personal radio for emotional. It's a mystery. It's really, 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 really good. And there's a scene where the character in Firewatch opens a little one of those outdoor like window tab cubby things, and a bee flies out and stings his hand, and the camera is very obviously like, whoa, it's like a mini cutscene. And so he gets stung by this bee, and then you're like, whoa, he got stung by this bee, which means this bee must have some relevance to the story. There must be something interesting going on with this bee. There has to be something going on here, right? No, it was just a fucking bee. For some fucking reason, they added a mini bee cutscene that has no relevance to the rest of the game. There's no mystery. It's just fucking random. It makes no fucking sense. I was like, okay. And in a similar vein, there's a single scene in Reckless that I read that shit, and I finished that scene. I finished that chapter, and I looked in the mirror, and I was like, what the fuck was that? What was that? Why did I just read that? That scene is when Peyton has to go to the bathroom and she tells Kai to cover his ears and talk so he can't hear her. Why? And I'm not asking why she asked him to cover his ears. I'm asking why that's a fucking scene at all. Is it like a, oh yeah, book characters go to the bathroom, because no fucking book ever has like someone taking a bathroom break? Like you'll never read it. Like you'll read a high fantasy book and nobody ever is like, oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Like that's just not part of the story. That type of thing is left out of stories. And so I'm like, did Lauren include that as like a little funny, like, haha, book characters go to the bathroom? But it's okay. Thanks. Thank you. I keep pressing the wrong button. Okay, that's great. I mean, it just felt so fucking random. It felt so, and then she was like, a man wouldn't understand. And then I'm like, I have fucking PR assist. I totally get it. I don't know what you're fucking talking about. I don't know what you're yapping about. I'm totally locked in. But that was goofy. That was goofy. But yeah, the bee scene in Firewatch was interesting. There's no joke over peeing. I just think they'll joke about it later. I don't think they'll even joke it. It just felt like such a random, unnecessary scene, you know? Oh shit. I did tell Kami that I'd be done in an hour and a half at the most, and we're currently at an hour 40 minutes. But he can wait a little bit longer. He's editing a video. He's fine. So we have two options here, gang. We can either talk. Okay, bye, Hood Leak. Bye. We can either. Actually, no. Fuck it. I'm not giving you a choice. I'm not gonna read Lenny out loud. I'll read the Lenny chapter myself, and then I'll make a video or talk about it on stream later. Thanks for coming by, Hood Leak. All right. I was actually eating, you fucking assumer. Are you done eating, Kami? Are you finished now? Are you completed? Because if you're done, we can change gears. I don't think there's anything else to say about Reckless. I think that's kind of been the Reckless discussion. I think we chatted it up. I think we've yapped our yap. Nah, you still have eats? Well, fuck, man. What am I supposed to do now? I guess I can start getting stuff ready for the gaming stuff. Get ready. You came ready to clip the fuck out of the gaming stream. Okay. All right. Talk about Addy. There's nothing to fucking say about Addy LaRue. I fucking DNF'd that shit. It was interesting, but it couldn't hold my attention enough. The concept was interesting. There were interesting scenes, but at a certain point, it got every fucking time they went back in time. Here's the thing. The beautiful thing about Reckless, the gorgeous, lovingly, like, arguably sexual, great thing about Reckless is that there's like 4 kit chapters. There's like 4 kit chapters, and I don't like them, but they're short and they're quick, and I can just keep going, right? The problem with Addy LaRue is every other fucking chapter is a flashback to so fucking long ago in her life, hundreds of years. And I don't give a shit. I only care about the present day story with her and Henry. That's the only thing I care about. So every other fucking chapter, I'm going through this flashback and I'm just like, fuck, I want to read what's going on next. I don't care. And so I eventually just stopped reading Addy LaRue because I care so little about what's literally 50% of the story. I might go back to it and just read the Henry chapters, like just read the present day stuff. But like the flashbacks, I didn't like them. I didn't care for them. Hi Hikari, good timing. Good timing, Hikari. Yeah. Okay. Those of you who came for the book club discussion, you really enjoyed Addy but didn't care about the Henry stuff. Oh, okay, so you're the opposite of me. Yeah, I don't know. It's such an interesting concept. I want to give it another try, but it's just it didn't work out at the time period. And it was during my trip too, and so it just all didn't. And a big part of it is I was getting the audiobook from my library, like it was the digital library Libby audiobook, and my checkout expired, and so it was kind of like rough. When the moon hatched? Yeah, I have not started yet, but I'm gonna start it soon. I'm gonna start it maybe tomorrow. I have work tomorrow. I might start it tomorrow. I'm gonna audiobook it. But I have to get some stuff. I have to get some stuff in order. I have a plan for next book club stream with When the Moon Hatched, so hopefully we can make that work. I'm gonna be way more prepared for that one. Not sure if it's a good time because I'll stop reading until I finish my book. Oh, Hey Kari, it's not good timing because the book club discussion's over. That's if you're here for talking about Reckless, we are done. If you're on YouTube, I just want to let you know that the YouTube stream is about to end. I am gonna go play a game, and if you want to watch that, you can come check me out on Twitch. It's linked on my account. But I am gonna end the YouTube stream right now.